Hello and welcome back to your first, maybe, shameless Minecraft ripoff in the browser. For this first official episode, we're going to be getting the glMatrix library, setting up our canvas with some basic 3D shaders, and creating the base rendering loop. So to get started, let's go ahead and get the glMatrix library set up, which is a library of different functions which allow for creating WebGL applications a whole lot easier. So go ahead and point your browser to glmatrix.net, and you're going to go ahead and click download zip file. I have that downloaded here. Inside the folder, inside the zip, there'll be one called this. Click that and you'll see you have two files. We're going to be using this top one, just called gl-matrix. Inside your tutorial folder, you're going to click on client, and next to this index file, create a new folder called render. Inside there, we'll go ahead and drag that in. Now, you're going to want Notepad++ open. Now, to go over to the code for index.html, underneath this header we created, what we can do is create another tag called script, and then end the tag with the slash. Now, you would think with what we're doing, we're going to be importing a script, and we have to put the destination. A little bit tricky is it actually doesn't go in between like the header does. Instead, inside of the first tag, we'll just put source equals render slash glmatrix.js. And then go ahead and hit save on that. So after you've done that, you're going to want to make sure you have XAMPP open and you have clicked start next to Apache. Then you're going to go to your 127.0.0.1, head into client. If you're in Chrome, you're going to click these three dots, head to more tools, developer tools, shortcut Control-Shift-I. This is the console. It's extremely helpful for when you're programming in the browser. Go ahead and type glMatrix. That's lowercase gl, capital M on the matrix. Press enter. If you see this, then you have done it correctly and you're ready for the next step. Heading back into Notepad++ and into our index.html, what you're going to want to do is, after this header, create canvas tags. And just the same as we did with the script, we're going to go into this first one, fix the spacing, and we're going to do id equal voxel canvas. So as you can see, in the first tag we can define properties, and that's all this is. Then if you define stuff on the inside, that's what's called the inner HTML. So once you have that done, go ahead and hit save. And if you feel like testing to make sure you've done it correctly, once again you can just go into the developer console and type voxel canvas, and it should display this if it's working. So now that we have the glMatrix library, as well as having our canvas, we'll create another script tag here. And the source is going to be a file we haven't created yet. Render/render.js. Go ahead and save that, and we'll create a new file. Save as, and in our tutorial client render, we'll save it as render.js. And then what we can do here first off is just do console log I, save it, and then refresh the page and check your console. So now when we refresh the page, we should see in the developer console it says hi over here. And if you don't see it, you might have to click up here on messages, but it should be like that by default. For this next section, I'm basically just going through the WebGL fundamentals tutorial by greggman. So starting off, we can delete the console log, and we're going to need a reference to our canvas. So we'll type canvas equals document get element by ID voxel canvas, paying attention to the capital C. And now that we have that, we're going to... So I decided rather than making you watch me type it all out, this is the code. It's going to be in the description as a Pastebin link if you just want to copy and paste. First off, we get the canvas. Secondly, from the canvas, we get a reference to GL, specifically WebGL 2. We have a function here that loads a shader, and it will throw an error if there's any problems with the shader. And then we have another function that compiles a program using the two compiled shaders, and that will also throw an error if there's any problems. So you can see from this extremely rough diagram I made, a shader program is made out of two components, a vertex shader and a fragment shader. The vertex shader is going to take these points that we input and draw a triangle. Now, if you think about it, in 3D space, everything is actually made out of triangles, which is why I have this diagram of Super Mario 64. You can see Mario is entirely made up of triangles. It's less obvious nowadays with the lighting techniques we have and better graphics cards to support higher polygon count. But everything you do in 3D minus sprites, and even technically then they're made up of triangles, it's all triangles all the way down. So in 3D, you can take those points and reposition them around using math to give the illusion of rotation in a 3D environment. That'll happen in the vertex shader. Product of that, whatever triangle of the final product of that, gets colored in pixel by pixel by the fragment shader. That all happens in the shader program. It uses camera data as well as the vertex data to give you this final cube, which, as you can see, all made up of triangles. Another thing out of the scope of this video but worth mentioning is each of these points can have whatever data you like. You could have a color associated with each of these points, and it will interpolate those colors to create a gradient of all those colors coming into the center of the triangle. You can have light data, you can literally have anything. Now sadly, it looks like I'm running low on time. I'm trying to keep these videos short and digestible, so we're gonna have to put off creating our fragment shader, vertex shader, and render loop to the next video. But thank you for watching and hope to see you next time. Enjoy your day.